lovely night, isn't it?
Yes, you're just out here counting stars.
No, I was on my way home from a poker game, and I saw your car.
You're looking at a recording star, I'll have you know.
Remind me to buy stock in that girl's company. Oh, she knows what she's doing. Would you care to take a stroll with me?
Now?
How do you feel about Keesha and Jason?
I will have that talk with you.
Well, I've got to give it to her that Keesha has spunk.
Too much for her own good. She was always a sassy little thing. She'd plant her feet, put her hands on her hips, which goes to show you that children are basically who they are when they're very young, because that's exactly what she did to her father about this trip.
So, what are your feelings about the subject?
I have my reservations. Even though I like Jason, I think he's a fine young man. I'd be lying if I'd say I'm happy about this attraction between them.
Me too. And yet I find myself questioning the opposition. Why? Oh, sure, the race issue could pose a potential obstacle. But every young couple faces one test or another. Objectively speaking, what we're looking at are two highly intelligent young people, level-minded, who have everything going for them. Now, who's to say that they can't make a perfectly happy life for themselves?
Doesn't this conversation sound awfully familiar to you?
It's the same one that we had 50 years ago. And therein lies the problem, of course.
I can't explain it. I know it's irrational, and it probably has more to do with my own experience. But when I think of Keesha giving her love to Jason, it just strikes fear in my heart, something primal. And I've tried to shake it. As God is my witness, Edward, I have tried to shake it off, especially since I've come to know Jason and how deeply and honestly he feels about her. But there's something inside me that just won't be silenced.
No one understands your reaction any more than I, Mary Mae. You had to take on so much after what we shared. I was able to walk away and not look back. But you had to incorporate it into the rest of your life. You had to base your decisions around it. And keep secrets because of it. And I can't tell you how sorry I am for that.
But I hope you don't think I harbor any resentments towards you. You gave me my son, and for that I'm grateful. But at the same time, I dread the thought of getting our families connected up again.
Well, have you shared this much with Keesha?
What do you think? But you know what she does to me? You know, she just tilts up that sassy chin, and she reminds me that when I was her age, that I had already gotten myself widowed and was pregnant with Bradley. And, well, it's hard to argue when your own choices come back to haunt you. But I tell her, I said, you know what? Things were different then. But that's a lame comeback, and she's smart enough to know that. So she says, shouldn't matter. And then she's right again. And I cannot stop that girl from following her heart, because what's in my heart, I can't even express adequately.
I share your fear and your dread. But in spite of that, I find myself cheering those young people on, desperately hoping that they'll be able to make work what we couldn't. Oh, behold, the ramblings of an old fool.
No, that's just the romantic in you. I recognize him.
After 50 years?
Hey, I know him anywhere. What do you think attracted me to you in the first place?
Well, I rather thought it was my devastating good looks.
Well, it was that. I better get going.
May I offer you a ride?
No, thank you. I have my car. Thanks.
Mary Mae? It was nice sitting and talking with you again, regardless of the subject matter.